Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be going through all of the products I use to get this quiet luxury makeup look. So I just want to start off by saying that with my skin prep today, I've put on some sunscreen. This is the Toriden Dive In Moisture Sun Cream. I use this every day and this one is nearly empty. I do have, I think, one or two more backups. So just letting you know that this is my Holy Grail sunscreen. And this is one that works perfectly under all makeup bases. So I have started off with this one. And what I do every day is, first of all, I'll go in with the PIXI Brightening Peach Correction Concentrate. So I'll just pop this under my eyes just here, where I have a little bit of darkness and discoloration. So I'll just go in with my finger, but my nails are a little bit long at the moment, so it's getting harder and harder to get in there. So I'll just pop it on the areas where I have the most darkness. It's not very thick or emollient, so it doesn't sink into lines. I've tried many of these eye brighteners and this is the best one I've found. So you'll see the difference here. I have quite a bit of darkness under my eyes, whereas this side, it's corrected a lot of the purple tones. So now I'll go ahead and do the other side just to even it up a bit. I do start with this step every single day. It's not something that I can skip because I find that concealer will look like it's not doing its job fully if I don't put this down beforehand. And on my face, I do have a little bruise here from my daughter throwing a phone at my head. I do have a blemish there and here. So I do have quite a little bit of redness on my cheeks as well. So I do have a few imperfections that need to be covered. I haven't put anything else on my face apart from the sunscreen. Now, what I would do is go in with a foundation that I know and trust, and that would normally be the CHANTECAILLE Future Skin Gel Foundation. This one is my absolute holy grail, but I thought today I would try the Chanel Les Beiges foundation in the shade B10. I haven't tried this one before, so I did want to get a sample before I splurged on the full bottle. So today will kind of be like a wear test in a way as well. But I think this is the perfect foundation to feel that little bit more elevated in your everyday routine. It is Chanel, so it does have beautiful packaging, and I hear the formula of this foundation is really, really good. It is comprised of, I think, 60% water. I'll pop on the screen what its formula is made up of, but I'm super keen to try this one. So we'll pop it on the face and see how it goes. I normally put concealer on after so I can tell exactly how much I need and where I need it. So with soft glam, soft luxury makeup, you don't want anything too heavy. I'm just going to start with a little bit and work my way up from there. You can always add more coverage or add more concealer if you feel like you need more. I think today I'm going to go in with the 111 brush. It's just from Ox, so this is very, very budget friendly option, but I do just want to see how much coverage I get with this foundation brush. This one spreads a very thin layer over the face, and I can tell straight away that this one is quite sheer at the moment. It's giving me a light coverage. I didn't put on a lot, but I can still see a lot of my imperfections peeking through, although it is covering up some minor discoloration. I like how it's going on. It is melting in quite seamlessly. Yeah, that's actually melted in straight away. I really like that in a foundation. It's really become one with the skin. It's not sitting on top or looking heavy. So that's good. I'm happy with that coverage. I like to start off with light coverage and then only build up in the areas where I really need it with concealer, so I don't have too much product going on. Okay. So I do have quite a bit of texture on my skin at the moment, but it's not emphasizing anything, and it's given me a nice light coverage with the amount that I put on. So like I said, I'm happy with that, and now I'm going to go in and cover up the imperfections a little bit more. And this is the new Chanel concealer. So this is the Chanel Ultra Le Teint concealer, and I've been really loving this at the moment. This one, it's got a good shaped doe foot, but the formula is where it stands out. It just blends into the skin like butter. I'll put a tiny bit under the eyes, on my bruise, on this blemish, just here. So I'll let that sit for a little bit, just so I can maximize the amount of coverage that I get out of that. And I'll just go in and brush the brows into place. This is my Hourglass eyebrow pencil. I'll link it below, but I've had this for a long time. It's one that just does not want to stop. It's not one that wants to finish. So what I'll do is pat in this concealer with my finger. I find that this gives me the most seamless coverage under my eyes. With this formula of the Chanel concealer, you don't want to use too much. I found, you just want to use a tiny little bit. It is quite full coverage. Not the most full coverage I've ever tried, but it is up there. I just feel like this stretches very far. You don't need a ton. I'll just pat the remaining on my eye, area. Little bit on the nose. I don't want to pat too much to take away the coverage. So just patting it in will blend it into place where I've put it. And then just softly blending the edges. It should give nice coverage. Now with this blue-green bruise up here, I probably should have used more of a color corrector on that, but that's okay. I don't think it's looking too bad at the moment. So that's minimal amount of product used, and I'm happy with that. I don't want to look too perfected, but at the same time I do want my imperfections to be blurred out and softened and smoothed, and I feel like this is a good base, a good starting point for the rest of the makeup. So at this point I would set the under eyes and the rest of my face so I can put on my powder products without them going patchy on a wet base. So to do that, I will use the Korean dough. This is the Maifanshi face powder. Maifanshi face powder in the shade, I think this is their translucent shade. So you don't need a ton of this. I only use the tiniest little bit. You'll see it's got this sifter here that you can sort of scrape the product. So you can dip in and just scrape the product like this, and then tap out the excess. So for this, I'm just wanting to do a little bit of setting in the center of my face first and working my way up. I'm just patting it on to begin with. And then I'll go through, set the cheeks, under the eyes. Try use a minimal amount of powder under the eyes. Now that I'm nearly 35, my under eyes can't handle a lot of powder. And what's good about this powder is it is infused with skincare. So it's for a powder, it's meant to be hydrating, and I would agree with those claims. It certainly doesn't dry me out, but with any powder, it will dry you out if you use too much. Okay, so I forgot to mention this is the Refa Shodo 05 brush. This is amazing. I think I have 3 or 4 of these. I use this for everything from foundation, blush, bronzer, face powder, any product. I think you can't go wrong with that one. And so now I would sculpt the face with a little bit of bronzer. I like to use the Aucoin, the Sculpting Powder in Light. So this one here, it is definitely used, but you can see the tone of it is quite cool toned. I find that for me and my skin tone, I am so fair that this is actually the perfect bronzer shade for my skin tone. So I'll go in, I'll probably just use the same brush, to be honest. And this is very, very pigmented, so you only need a tiny bit. So what I'll do is just tap off onto my hand and make sure I don't get a huge patch on my face going in right off the bat. So I like to start off up here and just sculpt the face. What's good about this brush is you can use the end of the fibers here to really blend the product in for a seamless finish. It's perfect for blush and bronzer. So you don't need to go too heavy-handed. We just want that effortless look. A little bit of sculpt and definition. You can see it's really snatched the cheekbones. And with this one, I really like to use an eyeshadow brush and put this in my crease. This is the Refa 27. So this bronzer slash contour shade is the perfect sculpting shade for the eyelid. You can bring the excess just down the nose here and fan it out. Okay, so that is the bronzer slash contour all done. This is a holy grail powder of mine. If you do have fair skin, I would certainly recommend having a look at this for that bronzer contour shade. That won't look orange at all on your skin. So next, I am debating which blush to use. I don't know whether to use this one. This is the YSL Make Me Blush in number 42. And this is the YSL Make Me Blush in the shade 44. So this one is a beautiful baby pink. I love the shade. And then this one here is a mauvey tone. So you'll see it's got more red in the base than the one I just showed you. But then for a little bit of glow, I was thinking of using the Dior. This is the Christmas limited edition blush from Dior. This one is a beautiful baby pink as well, but it has a little bit of sparkle or shimmer to it. Luminosity. It's really beautiful. I love this one. And then again, this is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow in Starry Mauve. So this one is one of Dior's Christmas limited editions as well. And just a beautiful mauvey color with some luminosity to it. So I think I might go with, I think I might use these two from YSL. These ones have been my holy grails for a long time now, ever since they came out. So what I'll do, I think I'll use this one more up the back, higher up or further back on my cheek, and I'll use this one sort of more up close or to the front of my cheek to give that ombre look. So I think what I'll do is take a clean Shoto 05, and I just want to start with the shade 44 in the YSL Make Me Blush. This is such a beautiful formula. It is so blurring on the skin. And again, this brush just makes the whole blending process so easy. So that's with shade 44, and that's without. So I'll go into the other side, even it up a little bit. Just want to keep this color further back on the cheek and just blend it. I do like blending it up a little bit higher just to make it a little bit more seamless. Okay, so that is shade 44 in the YSL Make Me Blush. Now for my favorite shade, this is a baby pink shade. This is number 42. I'm going to use just the same brush and pop this a little bit more closer to the front of the face, just to give that beautiful baby pink pop. don't want to bring it too far down. Now I'm just going to blend the edges together, just to make sure it's all seamless along the edges with no harsh lines. I'm just using the tips of this brush here. So I like to use what's left over on the forehead and a little bit on the nose. So that's really given a fresh, even look to the complexion. I'm really happy with these blushes. They're 100% a holy grail, and if you can find them on sale, I would recommend getting them because you won't regret it. They are super blurring on the skin, smoothing, and blend like a dream. So now what do I want to do? I think what I'll do is curl the eyelashes, and we can go ahead and put some color on the eyes. Okay, so that is a very simple step that's quick and easy that will elevate your eyelashes from pointing down or straight to having a little bit of curl to them. So I definitely recommend doing that every time. I do that every time I do my makeup. It's a step that I will never skip. You can use any eyelash curler. Mine's the Refa 18R. And I'm really loving that eyelash curler. I just also want to, I just would like to set my eyelid area a little bit more. This will prevent any creasing from happening later on in the day. Perfect. Now for a simple, elegant, soft luxury eye look, you don't want anything too out there, too colorful, too sparkly. So I think the perfect shade to use would be the Paige, the Lisa Eldridge Paige Liquid Silk eyeshadow. So she came out with these recently, and this is the most beautiful taupe, light colored beige color. It is quite cool toned. This is going to be perfect if you're fair skinned like me. So this will just add a tiny bit of definition and evenness to the eyelid area. You only need a little bit, so start off with a tiny bit and blend from there. I'm going to be using the Refa 02 brush to blend this out. So that's really evened out the eyelid base. I think what I want is a little bit more definition, so nothing too over the top. So I'm going to have a think about what else we can pop on just to elevate it a little bit. But this color by itself is the perfect base if you're looking for a color that's really close to your skin tone. That's going to even out any discoloration or unevenness, and it will provide a really nice base as well. I can confirm these don't crease throughout the day. I have hooded eyelids and these ones have held up very nicely. So you could leave it at just that, but I just want to add something a little bit more. So just to add a little bit more depth and dimension, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Ione shade from Lisa Eldridge. This is another one of her liquid silk colors, and it's got more of a mauvey tone to it. I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand and dip into that. So I'm going in with a Refa 01 Mini just to add a little bit more definition. Just here and in the outer corner. These are really easy to work with. My eyelids are feeling quite dry and crepey the older I get, so I really need a formula that's going to work with me and not against me. So that's just added perfect amount of definition. Let's put a little bit more here. These are super easy to work with. Now I can go in afterwards and just blend out any of the edges up here. A little bit of powder. So I'll show you how I do that. I think what I'll do is put some of this in the bottom lash line. So I'm just using this same brush and pinching it like that. So you get a nice tapered, controlled line. That's beautiful. That's created dimension that I was looking for. Okay. So to clean up around the edges up here, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the Jouer powder in the shade Light. I love this powder, especially for touch-ups throughout the day. This one will give you a beautiful touch-up in the way that it blends in and melts into your already applied makeup without making it look patchy, textured, cakey. And I've tested many for touch-ups throughout the day, and this one is by far the best one I've come by, or putting it on top of already set makeup where the oils have come through and you're just wanting to maybe mattify it a little bit. The Jouer powder in the shade Light is fantastic for that. So this is where we are currently. I'm really happy with how the base is going and the eyes. I think now I'm going to pop on some brows and mascara. And then we can do the final touches. Lips are always my favorite part of any makeup look. So that's a step that I always look forward to. But with my brows, I have had microblading done previously. I'm trying to sort of focus on the edge, not the edge, the end of my brows. And then just use very light hand for this area to about here. So then what I'll do is just brush it through with the little spoolie it has on the end there. If you're looking for a brow pencil that lasts years, I've had this Hourglass brow pencil for like 3 years now. And I use it all the time. I've got the shade Platinum Blonde. It's the Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil. So this one, yeah, has lasted me years, and I don't know why I use it so much, but like I've still got so much left. So that's the Never Ending brow pencil, if you ever were looking for one. Okay. So for mascara, I'm going to be using the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. So this one is That's the brush. This one is a tubing mascara. I've got the brown shade. So you'll see this eye doesn't have any mascara. This eye here does, and it's a huge difference. This one adds length and volume, but it doesn't clump up or make them look spidery. I only use one coat. I don't want my lashes to get too heavy. I don't want them to weigh down the eye look. So that is mascara. Now for the upper waterline, I'm just going to be using the Victoria Beckham Kajal eyeliner, and this is in the shade Orchid. This is a beautiful color, beautiful formula. I do need to sharpen this one, so hopefully I can get a little bit of pigment. But just adding it on the edges of the inner waterline on top. Now for lip liner, I'm going to be using the new Chanel lip liner in 164. This is a limited edition shade. This is the perfect everyday color. It's not too bold, but it will add a little bit of definition to the lip line. So I do have a little bit of Ole Henriksen lip mask on in the shade Strawberry. This one here, if you're looking for a lip mask, this is beautiful formula that will hydrate your lips and last all night long. I am addicted to these. I have 3 of them. So I'm just going to line the lips. Okay, so that's given me a little bit of definition, and when I was thinking about which lip product would go well or fit the theme with this soft luxury elevated makeup, I thought the SISLEY Lip Phyto crayons would be perfect. So this is the shade 24. It's the Phyto Lip Twist, and this one is the perfect everyday taupey, neutral, slightly movie color. And this is quite a balmy texture, so it does have a bit of shine to it. I have a couple of these and they're super comfy. Just for adding a little bit of color. It's easy to apply. And it is an elevated lip balm, essentially. So that is the SISLEY Lip Phyto Twist applied. I think it gives a really soft, natural, but elevated look to the lips. They're very, very comfortable as well. So they're not sticky, not matte, not patchy, nothing like that. I would 100% pick up more colors, and I'm going to, if I find any on sale. So I think the final step for this look would be highlighter, and I was debating which one I would use because I have so many. But if I was to think of the highlighter I've been using recently that gives that ethereal sort of candlelit glow from within, that's not too over the top, very understated, very soft luxury vibes, I thought the Chantecaille Christmas limited edition one would fit in perfectly. So this is the Cheek Light Illuminator Jouets. So you'll see this here. I'll just swatch it for you. This is the color. Not too metallic, not sparkly, not glittery. Very soft and perfect for this look that we have today. So to apply it, I'm going to go with so this is the Refa 04 brush. So you'll see it's got a nice slanted, tapered tip, and that will allow you to just sort of blend this highlighter in to the tops of the cheekbone. And I like to really work it into the skin. It doesn't go patchy or lift up your makeup underneath. It doesn't emphasize texture. It just really gives a beautiful, subtle look. So that's the highlighter. This is the finished Soft Glam Luxury Beauty Routine. Perfect quiet luxury makeup. So there we have it. Here's the finished look. This is my version of what I think quiet luxury makeup would look like. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please look out for the next one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.